Alright, don't mind my ugly nails. I'm just gonna show you how to solve these equations by completing the square. I'm gonna do 5 of the 8 problems on there, but I'm gonna start with the basics and then work our way up to what a square is and how to complete the square in order to solve equations. So first off, a square is like a 4 by 4. Find the area is 16. You multiply the two numbers. Here 7 by 7. Multiply the two numbers, you get 49. Here you can break it down, the 7 into a 6 plus 1 and a 6 plus 1. It's technically the same square, but 6 times 6 is 36, so the area of this square is 36. 1 times 6 is 6, the area of that is 6. 6 times 1, 6. 1 times 1 is 1. So if you add all these numbers up, 36 plus 6 plus 6, that's 48, plus 1 more is 49. You get the same area. The same thing goes when you subtract. So 9 minus 2 is 7, 9 minus 2 is 7, so you would figure you'd get 49 as well, 7 times 7. So 9 times 9 is 81, negative 18, and positive 4. A negative times a negative gives you this positive number. 81 minus 18 is minus 36, plus 4 gives us 49. Cool? Then we throw in some variables like x plus 4 and x plus 4. X times x is x squared. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times x is 4x. And 4 times 4 is 16. If I'm talking too fast, you can always pause. If you add these all up, you get x squared. Combine like terms, 4x and 4x make 8x plus 16. Here's another square, 2x minus 3 times 2x minus 3, 4x squared. Negative 3 times positive 2x is negative 6x. Same thing again. And then negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9. And then so we end up with 4x squared. Combine like terms, negative 6x plus negative 6x is negative 12x plus 9. So if you notice in all of these squares, we end up with the same term twice, and here and here, here and here, it's the same thing. Here and here, here and here. So we are going to use that to apply to these squares. We already did x plus 4 squared. I'm going to show you all of these real quick. We'll come up with the general rule, and then we'll use it to solve a basic problem, and then starting with the homework. So x plus 1 times x plus 1, x squared, 1x plus 1. So you end up with x squared plus x is 2x plus 1. So I'm just going to write that over here. So x squared plus 2x plus 1. I'm going to do the same thing with x plus 2 and x plus 2. X squared is a 2. 2x, 4. So we end up with x squared plus 4x plus 4 equals x squared plus 4x plus 4. Same thing here, x squared, 3x, 9. X squared plus 6x plus 9. We've already done x plus 4 and x plus 4. I'm just going to rewrite it here. 8x plus 16. And I'm going to do one with subtraction. So x minus 5 times x minus 5 is x squared. Negative 5 times positive x, negative 5x. Same thing. Negative times a negative is a positive 25. So x squared minus 10x plus 25. Good? So the general rule here, I have my only other color pen at home. If you notice, if you have a 1 and a 1, how do you get this last number here? You end up squaring it. So if it's a 2 and a 2, you get 4. 3 and a 3, you get 9. 4 and a 4, you get 16. 5 and a 5. Negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25. So that's where these numbers came from. Here, 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 and here. You're squaring it to get the last number. How do you get this middle number, though? 2, 4, 6, 8, negative 10. You essentially had 1x and 1x make 2x. 2x and 2x make 4x. 3x and 3x make 6x. 4x and 4x make 8x. Negative 5x make negative 10x. So whatever this number is, to get to this number right here, you're doubling it because you have two of them. And to get to this number over here, like I said already, you're squaring it. So in order to complete the square, we're not going from these numbers to these numbers. We are starting with our b term, and we are going to get to our c term. So if you look at these numbers, in order to get to your c term, you divide by 2 to get to this term, the original, and then you have to go back and square it. So 2 divided by 2 gives you the 1, squared gives the 1. 4 divided by 2 gives you the 2, squared gives the 4. 6 divided by 2 is 3, squared is 9, 8 divided by 2 is 4, squared is 16, so on and so forth. So the rule to go from, this is all in the form ax squared plus bx plus c with an a value of 1. There's no number in front here. The rule in general is going to be your c value, this last number, is going to equal your b value divided by 2 to get this number, and then square it to get the c. So usually you see it like this. B, divide by 2 first, and then square it. Good? For example, down here, number 35 on the homework, if you have a b value of 8, how do you end up with your c value? So we already know it's going to be 16, but how do you get to that 16? You take this number, you divide it by 2, and you square it. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, squared is 16. If you add 16 to one side of an equation, to keep it equal, you need to add 16 to the other side. So then you end up with x squared plus 8x plus 16 equals negative 15 plus 16 is 1. Why is this important? If you have a square, here's another example, sorry, I'm going backwards. If you have a square, in order to solve for x that's inside the square, you can take the square root of both sides. Anytime you take the square root of a number, you need to put plus or minus in front of it. So now this is going to be x plus 5 equals plus or minus square root of 16 is 4. Why? So when you solve for x by subtracting 5 on both sides, you end up with plus or minus 4 minus 5. So you have two answers. X could equal positive 4 minus 5, which is negative 1, or negative 4 minus 5, which is negative 9. So if I plug this back in here, I'm just going to take this. Negative 1 plus 5 squared should give us 16. Negative 1 plus 5 is 4, squared gives us 16. Also, if you take the other number, negative 9 plus 5 is negative 4. If you square that, you also get 16. So in order to solve these problems, you want a square so you can take the square root of it. So here, now we have a square, you're going to rewrite it as a square. So you're going to rewrite it like this. So it's going to be x plus 4 squared equals 1. Now that we have a square, you take the square root of both sides. Anytime you draw a square root sign above a number like this, you need to put plus or minus in front of it. So now you have x plus 4 because the square and a square cancel, right? Like square root of 25 is 5. So the square root of 5 squared is 5. These cancel. So you have x plus 4 equals plus or minus square root of 1 is 1. So you have two answers. X equals positive 1 minus 4, because we're subtracting 4 on both sides, or negative 1 minus 4. Positive 1 minus 4 is negative 3, negative